Hello, welcome to Discovery Storytime. Today we are going into space. We'll go planet hopping to discover things in our solar system. But first, let's get to Earth to read our book.
Pluto Was a Pea by Gabrielle Prendergast, illustrated by Rebecca Gerlings, with permission from Simon and Schuster. Pluto is much smaller than the other planets. That's why it's called a dwarf planet. But how much smaller is it? If Pluto was a pea, quarter of an inch, the sun would be a tent, 4 meters or 13 feet. If Pluto was a pea, Mercury would be a marble, 0.5 inches. If Pluto was a pea, Venus would be a ping pong ball, 1.3 inches. If Pluto was a pea, the Earth would be a golf ball, 1.4 inches. If Pluto was a pea, Earth's moon would be a blueberry, 0.36 inches. If Pluto was a pea, Mars would be an acorn. If Pluto was a pea, Jupiter would be a beach ball, 15.75 inches. If Pluto was a pea, Saturn would be a pumpkin, 13 inches. If Pluto was a pea, how big is that pea? Quarter inch, 0.25 inches. And Uranus would be a melon, 5.6 inches. If Pluto was a pea, Neptune would be a grapefruit, 5.4 inches. Is Pluto smaller than everything in the solar system? No. If Pluto was a pea, her own moon Saturn would be an apple seed, 0.12 inches. If Pluto was a pea, which is 0.25 inches, Pluto's other moons, Nix, Kerberos, and Hydra, would be like grains of sand. If Pluto was a pea, Pluto's smallest moon, Styx, would be too small to see. And you would be much, much smaller than that. But still not too small to think big thoughts and do great things.
We're back in space. Let's go planet hopping. And here we are at Mercury. Mercury is the planet that's closest to the sun. So it's hot, really hot here. So let's hop over to the next planet. We are here at Venus. Venus has a toxic atmosphere. It rains sulfuric acid. It's going to burn us. Let's get to the third planet in our solar system. Yay! This is our beautiful Earth. There, the temperatures are nice. We have air to breathe, and there's a lot of life. But we've got to see the other planets. Let's hop on to the next one. That is Mars. Mars is called the red planet because of the soil that is reddish in color and it looks red when you look through the telescope. NASA is sending probes to Mars to see if there was life before it got this hot and the atmosphere got thin. Okay, let's head to the next planet. We've got to avoid all the asteroids in the asteroid belt. Quick. And now to the biggest planet, the giant Jupiter. This one has massive storms going on all around it. Okay, so let's go to our next planet, which is Saturn. Saturn looks really beautiful in the telescope because it's got ice and debris that is going all around it in forms of rings, and these rings look really beautiful when you look through the telescope. On to the next one. Which one is the next one? Uranus. Okay, we've got to go farther away from the sun. Every time we are going farther and farther away from the sun. And here is Uranus. Uranus was thought to be a featureless planet. But now, with all the probes going out into our solar system, we are learning more about it. Let's head on to the last planet in our solar system, which is Neptune. So further and further away from the sun, there's Neptune. And Neptune has supersonic winds. And if we go further away from the sun and from Neptune, what do we see? We see our little dwarf planet, the P, Pluto, and the Kuiper Belt, where all the comets can be found. So, let's go little further away, and there it is. It's getting way too cold and way too far away from the sun. Let's head back to Earth. So, for today's activity, we are going to need a sheet of paper, a ruler, some scissors, some glue, a pencil, and some color pencils. So we're going to make a pocket solar system. So for that, we need a long strip of paper that is about 1 meter long. So we're going to fold this sheet of paper in half, and then open it and cut it along the fold. Now we're going to take both pieces, both halves, put them together, and then we're going to fold both of them in half again. And now we're going to open that up and again cut along the fold. So now as you can see, we have 4 short strips of paper. Let's make this a long strip of paper. So for that, we're going to glue the pieces together. So now we have a long strip of paper. To make sure that we are putting the planets as far apart as they are in outer space, but on our little strip of paper, we are going to make sure this strip of paper is exactly 1 meter long or 100 centimeters long. Our ruler is only 30 centimeters long. So we are going to measure 3 ruler lengths. There's 1. There's 2. We start from the end of the second ruler and we mark the end of the third ruler at 30 centimeters. Now we have 90 centimeters. We need 10 more centimeters. So we're going to keep our ruler at the end of the third ruler and then we're going to mark the point that is 10 centimeters ahead of that one. So there is our 100 centimeter or 1 meter long strip of paper. So we're going to fold it at that point and cut off the extra. And we have our strip for our pocket solar system ready. We can start putting the planets in their place. So to begin, let's say that the sun is at one end. So for the sun, we're going to take some orange marker and make that end the sun. That is one end of our strip of paper. The other end of the strip of our paper, the Kuiper belt begins where there are comets and our little pea planet, the little Pluto, the dwarf planet, is over at this end. So we're going to draw a little circle for the Pluto. And then we're going to say Pluto. Now that we have the sun and Pluto marked out, we can start marking the other planets. Now what are the other planets that we have? So here are our 8 planets. So to draw our 8 planets on this strip of paper, we are going to fold the strip of paper in half. That is, we're going to make Pluto and the sun meet. And we're going to fold it in half. Now, at this point, where the half mark is, I'm going to open it up. And that is the orbit. Let's draw that orbit of Uranus. Now let's make our Uranus here. I'm going to make it gray, Uranus. You can color it any color you want. You can make it multicolored. You can make your own planet drawing. Now there's Uranus. Now, to get our next 2 planets, we're going to fold this back again at Uranus. And then we're going to fold it again in half. Now you've got 2 spots. One orbit that's here towards Pluto, from Uranus towards Pluto. And there's another orbit here which is from Uranus, between Uranus and the Sun, which is this one. So at this point between Uranus and Pluto is Neptune. Let's make Neptune. That is Neptune. And then we have, in that other orbit that we drew, that one, that is Saturn. Saturn is one beautiful planet. If you look in the telescope, you will see the rings of Saturn. So I am going to make Saturn here with its beautiful rings. All right, now for our fourth planet, we're going to bring the Sun to Saturn, to the orbit of Saturn. And we're going to fold it. That fold mark is Jupiter, the big giant planet of Jupiter. I'm going to make it really nice and big. Ooh, did you know? And red spot of Jupiter, and that red spot is a large storm on Jupiter that has been going on forever and ever and ever. Okay, now we've got Jupiter. Next, so now we're going to bring the Sun to Jupiter, the orbit of Jupiter. What do you think is there? Aha, this time, this orbit does not have, this space doesn't have a planet. This one is the asteroid belt that has lots and lots and lots of little rocks that are orbiting our Sun. Our next planet, we're going to bring our Sun to the asteroid belt like that and fold it. Mars, a red planet, to which we are sending probes so we can look at it much closer and see if there was life on Mars at one time. Okay, so now we're going to bring the Sun over to Mars orbit, fold that, and then we're going to fold that in half again. Means we're going to bring that fold again onto the orbit of Mars. So now we have 3 folds here. Now the first one will be Mercury. The closest one to the Sun is Mercury. And then we have Venus. And then the third planet from the Sun is our beautiful blue planet, the Earth, where life exists. And we have, and there you go, that completes our pocket solar system. It is great to be back on Earth. I hope you enjoyed our planet hop. Now that we've seen all the other planets and how inhospitable they are for life, let's all work together to keep the Earth as clean as possible for everybody. Reduce waste, recycle, and reuse. Until next time. Bye.